Let me move on and discuss the travel and tourism sector as we have been doing so for the last many weeks here. It's the only thing that seems to be buzzing in an economy which may be facing some sort of consumption-related concerns at the lower end of society itself. EaseMyTrip is the stock which is on our radar, and they've recently, done a lot of things, including a partnership that they did with the Radisson Hotel Group for developing a 150-room greenfield Radisson Blu hotel in Ayodhya. So to discuss not just this, but the entire travel space, we have Prashant Pitti, who's the co-founder of EaseMyTrip, joining in. Thanks a lot, Prashant, for joining in. The first question obviously is on this hotel business foray that you've made. Now, from being a platform, you are also being a provider of assets. How does this work? Can you explain the rationale to me, the kind of funding that you will be doing for this? And is this first of many, or is this just an exclusive because of the spiritual tourism, hullabaloo, which is there right now?
Firstly, thank you for having me on the show, Mangalam. Basically, of course, this is first of its kind, the deal which we have done. To remind you and your audience, this is not going as a cash deal. This is an equity deal where we will be investing up to 100 crores in the format of equity as an equity exchange between us and the Jeewani Group, which already has procured the land, which is only, about 400, 500 meters away from the location of the mandir. We believe that this is going to be the next big destination for the country. If I could let you know and the audience, about 10 years ago, there were only 25 to 30,000 tourists who would go to Banaras on daily basis. Now that number has jumped to 4 lakh to 5 lakh. We believe that Ayodhya is going to be the next Vatican city. And this was a strategic call to have a 5-star, which is in very, very close proximity to the location. And I believe that this is a one-off thing where we got a great deal and we lapped upon it.
Okay. All right. Prashant, hi. Welcome to the show. So you mentioned one-off. Is this a one-off investment for you all, or are you probably getting into the brick and mortar space when it comes to hotels?
See, we already have invested in 2 companies in the past, Spree Hospitality, which is 100% owned by EaseMyTrip, and also Eco Hotels, which is 30% owned by the company. But both these companies do not own the hotels. They either take the hotels on lease or management contract. Both the companies are growing really well, and we look forward to continue to see them grow. This probably looks like more of a one-off thing where we are investing in the hotel itself, but not in the format of cash, but in the format of equity. Purely on the basis of the location, the spiritual angle around it, and also the deal which we have gotten.
It doesn't move things for you so much, from speaking from a shareholder standpoint, because you're diluting your equity worth about 100 crores. This is a 150-room property. Assuming it does, 10,000 rupees ARR and is fully occupied, the revenue potential of this is no more than 50 to 100 odd crores. How does this change things for your shareholders is what we are trying to understand. Yes, there is a lot of excitement around spiritual tourism. There is a lot of opportunity as well. But for the equity that you're diluting, what's the kind of return that you expect here?
Well, this is not exactly on the terms of, room nights. As EaseMyTrip, we would also block certain room space for ourselves with this deal. So hence, the closest 5-star hotel available in Ayodhya to the Ram Temple would have some exclusivity related to EaseMyTrip. So this is something which is basically also going to come up in the future along with this deal.
Okay. So can you put some numbers? When is the hotel coming up? What are you probably expecting in terms of revenues, average room rates, as well as occupancy? When do we see the numbers probably flowing in on the balance sheet, on the P&L?
It's too early for me to comment on all these numbers. The hotel is probably about 2 years away. Okay. But again, what the average room rate would look like, what the occupancy rate would look like, it'll be very difficult for me to say all these numbers at this moment.
Okay, so it's on a longer gestation phase. But can you tell us how business is doing for you all currently? You went by in terms of the quarter. There was a revenue growth of around 13.5% on a Q-on-Q basis. Margins were steady as well. What is business looking like this quarter?
So business is looking great. As a growing company, we expect each quarter to be better than the last quarter. And this quarter should not be an exception as well. We are looking forward to continue the growth, not just in India, but even internationally. As you're aware of, our Dubai business, Middle East business, our Europe business is also growing. We look forward for continued good streak in our growth.
All right, Prashant. I was tempted, but I will leave this bit out, which is the reports around the funding of an airline. But from a listed company standpoint, what I want to know from you is what are the receivables that you have from Go First? What are the receivables on your books from SpiceJet? And what are the receivables that you have from, say, something like an Akasa? And are they good?
So basically, this is a business as usual, where we basically deposit money in advance and then we utilize that money as and when customer comes and makes the booking. It's business as usual for everybody. And I may not be able to share all number, but for Go Air, we have already publicly announced the number of receivable which is available, which is basically which EaseMyTrip has yet to recover from Go Air is about 72 crores.
About 72 crores. And the others, I mean, overall receivables, I don't want specific companies, but overall, how much would that number be?
Overall, the number stands about at 150 to 200 crores.
150 to 200 crores. All right. And you are confident of receiving this money from Go Air? What's the plan of action going forward?
So this is something which relates to the bid which we have made, but at the personal capacity, not at the company capacity. It'll be very difficult for me to comment any of it on this particular part.
Okay, all right, Prashant, we're going to leave it on that note. Thanks very much for joining in and speaking with us. So that's EaseMyTrip talking to us about their hotel plans as well as the receivables that they do have from airlines at this point in time. We need to take a short break. On the other side, Manisha Gupta will join in to discuss commodities. Stay tuned.